Welcome back to the Sanctuary, Final Fantasy XIV Dawntrail and the Viper Questline. Cruising X here. Last episode, we met Keshkwa, a Viper from Tural, on the hunt for a Tural Vigral. I am not about to pronounce its name because I'm gonna keep forgetting it. But our prey is on the move, apparently. So let's see if Keshkwa has any, leads. Let's get right down to it. Oh, before I forget, between this and level 83, if you're leveling up and doing the story level by level, between this and level 83, you get you get one new attack, Uncoiled Fury, which delivers an attack with a potency of 680 to the first enemy and 50% less for all remaining enemies. Let me just check the traits. I'm not screwing up either. Yeah. And you also get the Viper's Rattle trait, which grants 1 stack of Rattling Coil upon successfully landing Vice Winder or Vice Pit. So, a lot to get. I think that's everything, yeah. Yep, because we don't get the generations until level 90, and Uncoiled Fury was the only thing in our repertoire at the time. Anyway, without further ado, let's talk to Keshkwa and continue with our next quest, Viper in the Vidral's Shadow. Good to see you, Chris. After a lot of asking around, I dug up some new leads on Iksok Jmajun. Or at least I think I did. Wasn't easy, though. At first, the only stores of interest were about Gridanian poachers dealing in so-called exotic meats. Juveniles. In other words, too young and too dead to be what we're after. The detour notwithstanding, there are a few other tidbits that might be useful. I got my own thoughts on the matter, but I want to hear yours too. That all right? Much obliged. So, I hear an adventurer came across a whole bunch of strikingly beautiful red feathers just outside of town. They ended up giving them to some kids who've been playing with them ever since. More to the point, there was talk of a huge beast, glowing blue eyes, flying off towards a place called the Black Shroud. Red feathers, blue eyes. Put the two together and it sounds an awful lot like Iksok Jmajun. Seems it's had enough of that land and picked the Shroud as its new stamping ground. What's your take on it all? We'd be fools not to look into it. Ha! I knew you'd agree. After the amount of mystery meat I had to sample just to squeeze information out of those butchers at the market, I'm glad it all paid off. As for our next move, I reckon we ought to take an airship to Gridania. From what I hear, a fellow by the name of Gavin over at the Adder's Nest should be able to tell us more. I'll meet you there. Meanwhile, we can port there. All this leveling is freaking gotten me a lot of money the last few months. You know what? I'm gonna take off my head. Actually, don't I still have... I'm dumb. Apply this. And then just for good measure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And... oh, wait. Now that's much better. Gavin. How might I help? I'm after a Tural Vidral. I mean, I'm searching for this dangerous creature that's come over from another continent. I see. As it happens, I am aware of the beast that matches the description of this Ixokjmajun. Our scouts spoke of its blue eyes and red wings, and of its aggressive nature leading it to attack any who dare approach. So it really is here in the shroud, and up to no good already. Thankfully, there have been no deaths so far, but it's only a matter of time before a merchant or adventurer becomes the first. I believe Ixokjmajun came here in search of new territory. Their land wasn't to its liking, and now it's testing out the shroud. It would appear so. I'll tell the other adders that you're pursuing the beast, and to lend what assistance they can. I assume that's all right with you? Yes, sir. More the merrier. Playing the bastards what matters, and I ain't too proud to accept help when it's offered. So, where was it last seen? In the South Shroud. Once you get there, head for Quarry Mill and look for Lieutenant Goliath. He's leading the search. Right, off to Quarry Mill. Police? You must be Keshkwa and Chris. The Adder's Nest sent word to expect you both. I'm Goliath, the officer in charge of this operation. This is Innocent Stork, who's provided us with vital information. A merchant in her employ spotted the beast on the way back from Uldar. She's also taken the liberty of assembling a team of experts to assist in tracking the target. At no small expense, I might add. But compared to the losses my business would suffer were the creature allowed to roam free, I deemed it a worthy investment. As our goals are aligned, perhaps you wish to join my experts in the field. If so, you'll find them near Roots Lake. I'm sure you'll get along swimmingly. Looks like we're late to the party. Let's go hear what they have to say. Alright, off to Roots Lake. Of course, it had to be all the way on the other side of the map. In retrospect, I should have teleported to Camp Tranquil, but we're here now. Catch me for the hunt, eh? Order came done to let you tug along, but don't get underfoot. Looking for signs of the creature so our naturalists can predict its movements. Then lay traps where it's expected to appear. Got themselves a proper plan, don't they? Seeing as they're being so accommodating, we may as well join the search. Alright, let's ride. First sign of activity. Let's see. The dung appears to be that of an enormous beast. Judging by its dry appearance and muted odor, it was excreted some time ago. All right. Sign number 2. Dung exudes a foul odor. Lingering warmth indicates it was recently deposited. Dead antelopes. These creatures bear the marks of enormous claws on their hindquarters, suggesting they were struck down as they attempted to flee. All right. There's Keshkwa. Found me a few signs of activity. What about you? Corpses of grazing animals gouged by monstrous claws. Same here. The size and depth of the wounds are consistent with how Ixok hunts. Just like back in Tural, killing not just to eat, but also to mark its territory. Show anyone and everyone who's boss. There you are. Managed to sniff anything out? Yes, sir. Aside from a couple of dung hills, we got some dead wildlife. Most likely the work of Ixok. Reckon it's close, somewhere north of the swamp. We came to the same conclusion. This predator makes no attempt to cover its tracks. Clearly it has survived so long by virtue of its immense proportions, and in spite of its diminished intelligence. Got it all wrong. It left those tracks on purpose, to see how we'd react. Are you saying the beast is testing us? That's absurd. The level of foresight and cunning required to even attempt to do so is far beyond these lesser beings. As for the corpses it left behind, those animals must not have been to its taste. I suggest using fresh cuts of prime livestock as bait. The bloodier, the better. Once the creature has been enticed, surrounding and subduing it is but a formality. Hate to break it to you, but Ixok way too clever to fall for that. You're gonna need every trick in the book, and some. Rest assured, I have considered every eventuality. And even if there was merit to your advice, I will not let it be said that our success was the product of anyone's genius but mine and mine alone. What difference does it make who came up with what? Monetary difference. Innocent stock offers better rewards based on performance. Hey, don't even think about trying to steal our thunder. We're the ones who bring this Ixok, whatever its name is, not you. Listen. We're trained to fight large predators like these. You got any sense, you'll let us take the lead. And put our lives in the hands of complete strangers? I think not. There's no place in our strategy for you. Stand aside and await further instructions. Fine. Have it your way. You're half the hunters you think you are. Ixok as good as dead, right? Come on, Chris. Let's leave him to it. Nothing good ever came from working with people you can't trust. Even I know that. Then it's decided. You two will wait at the southern end of the lower parts. Be ready to give chase in case the beast escapes us. Not that it will. What a bunch of tools. Ah, well. There's a nice little saying I love. It's called fuck around and find out. Let's see it in action. Awful quiet, don't you think? Hear that? That must be one of the hunting party. Came from the north. Let's move. Let's ride. Where are they? There he is. I know it hurts. Please, tell us what happened. It was watching us. That fresh lamb should draw the target out of hiding. Though, if I lace it with the toxin I brought, success is practically guaranteed. Toxin? We were told explicitly not to kill the beast, in case you'd forgotten. Of course not. It can be used as a sedative. Highly potent, but only lethal if applied in excess. If you lack the stomach for it, I'll do it myself. Naturally, my personal contributions will be detailed in the final report to ensure credit is given where it's due. What the hells are you playing at? If it catches wind, the plan's ruined! Shouldn't we go after them? No, it'll only make things worse. If that bookworm wants to stick his neck out for a few gil more, I say let him. What? No! No! Ah! Well, shit! Gods have mercy! There it is! Stay calm. Nothing's changed. Except the bait. Now's our chance! They were screaming. I ran. I could still hear. You were right. It knew. It knew. Keshkwa! Chris! By the 12, what happened here? The hunters became the hunted. I shall see that their remains are recovered and the necessary rites performed. Perhaps you would be so kind as to return to Quarry Mill and share these unfortunate tidings with innocent Stork. Well, crap. There she is. Forgot about my auto run. Almost ran into her. I'd anticipated casualties, but it was a massacre. Iksok's Majun's grown bolder. Before it only hunted animals, lone travelers. Ray knew it could handle with ease. Its past brushes with death taught it to be cautious. That's probably why it fled Tyrol in the first place too. But it just outwitted a group of armed hunters. Instead of running away from trouble, the beast went looking for it. This was sport. A game. It was having fun. Now that it's had a taste, it's only gonna want more. My poor judgment invited this tragedy. I must make amends. Please, allow me to assist you in pursuing the creature. Even without a team of experts at my disposal, I believe my network of contacts will prove useful in gathering vital information. We'd be grateful for information, but we'll take care of the rest. Understood. I place my faith in your abilities as Vipers. Appreciate it, ma'am. If you turn up any leads, be sure to let us know. I'd best return to the Adder's Nest and deliver my report. It's imperative we inform the populace of the threat posed by Iksok Shmajun. Might I ask that you use Quarry Mill as your temporary base of operations? Knowing where to find you will make it easier to coordinate our efforts. It's me fine. Besides, I got plenty to do here. Like learn about this neck of the woods and the critters and whatnot. But while I have you, there's one thing I want to ask. How'd the twin adders get their name? I beg your pardon? What does that have to do with Iksok Shmajun? Nothing really. It's just that us Vipers based our fighting arts on snakes, so they're near and dear to our hearts. Might even say we got a reverence for them. Is that so? I suppose we also feel a kinship toward snakes. The name Twin Adders comes from the pair of white snakes on the Gridanian standard, though that imagery predates the city-state's founding. There's more I could tell you, though I fear other matters must take precedence. With the story as long as that, we'd be here talking till the Packers came home. Love to hear more about it, but I understand it'll have to wait. I'd best get to learning what I can about Iksok Majun. Well, I see to that. Maybe you ought to squeeze in some more training. All right. Another quest in the books and another break to take. We will be back with more in just a moment. If you're watching on Twitch, stay tuned. If you're watching on YouTube, here are the links. See you in a bit.